What is up, guys? Here inside of Roblox Buildable for Treasure, and behind us is our tutorial car that I kind of changed up. As you can see, it's mostly plastic now and there's no more springs. So we're going to get into that in a second. Because I've pretty much finished the thing, except when I was recording it. Unfortunately, my recording crashed. So we're going to have to retry this. And basically this is what the finished model is going to look like right here. But what you're probably going to have, we're just going to delete all of this real quick. We don't have to really save it since I already have the finished version. Is you're pretty much just going to have like metal with springs, and the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove the metal, because I realized that for this it was way too heavy. So yeah, we just changed it up, and we're going to have to also delete this part and that part. But yeah, basically you should have something that's along the lines of like this. As you can see, we just have like springs attached to each other. Now, last time we saw that this doesn't really work because it just makes it extend, since it doesn't have like Slinky properties. So you're first of all going to want to remove the springs, like this, obviously, and then yeah. This is what you should have by now. You don't have to remove the neon, but I'm going to remove the neon anyways, even though I didn't in my finished version, but we're going to get into that later. And now, you should have something like this. So, I'm going to show you guys how you can easily fix the bug where it's not slinkying, so if that's a word. So, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put another piece of plastic right above this, right here. And then you're going to do that again. And then there we go, right there. And then you're going to want to do that one last time. I'm just going to move these one block back because that's where we need them to be. And then you're going to do that again, except this one is going to extend a little bit. And then there you go. You're just going to do this with all the pieces. I'm only going to show it with this one piece though. So you're then going to put a hinge facing downwards. And then underneath that, you're going to place a hinge facing upwards, and then that should allow it to like spin around, which is exactly what we need. Then you're going to place a plastic block underneath that, scale it upwards so you're not using that much, and then just scale it so that way it's like this. You don't really want it too far into the other block, but enough so that way it's connected. So then you're going to do this with all the other pieces, and I know that we're just going super fast with this. But then you should have something like this. Again, I'm going to just real quickly delete those. And then just to make it look better, I'm going to scale these over here. And now we should have this. And as you can see, I turned off the collision between these. You're going to need to also scale this part over here just to make it a little bit easier for your first part. And then, yeah. So this is what you should have. You're not going to necessarily have these parts here. This was from a failed attempt that I had in the previous video, the one that crashed. And I honestly just kept it because it made the thing look a little bit cooler. But yeah, now we're going to paint it. And I think that since I am the blue dragon, I'm going to paint it blue. I do not want to paint the wheel blue though. We're not going to have that blue. Once again, we're just going to have to delete these real quick. And then slide it over like this. And then we're just going to paint these blue. You can paint it any color that you want. But yeah, we're going to have it be blue. So here we go. Now it doesn't look pink anymore, obviously. It looks, again, blue. So that looks nice. I'm going to have the hinges also be blue because I just think that it looks better. Then we're going to save this version. I want to keep the seat black instead of blue because I don't want it all to be blue. So, yeah. Now, when you've made these parts on the sides, so this one, if you didn't add the things, this one, and these two, you're going to want to unanchor them, or not unanchor, uncollide them, so that way they don't have collision. And then, obviously, if you added anything else on the side, like these 4 parts that I have, then you're going to want to turn off collision for them as well. And now, as you can see, we have Slinky mechanics. However, as soon as you start to use it, you're going to notice that it's very slidey and that your controls are not necessarily in the best place. So we're going to first of all try with different wheel torques because that could be a common problem that we're having. I have mine set to yellow. We're going to just set it back down to red and then see if that is any better. I don't think it will be, but maybe a little bit better. Yeah, it's a little bit better, but now I kind of just slide and drift even more is the problem. So yeah, it kind of, like the back part just kind of pulls you along with it. So going to have to fix that because we don't want that to really be doing anything. For example, like it just spun around there, I just hit the W key. So we're going to have to change that. So we're going to try again with a different wheel torque, and obviously depending on how you want your car to work, it's going to be different for you. So that's why we're just trying with all of them, because I just want to see which one I personally think is the best. Orange is actually doing a lot better than red, however it still is slidey. So we might want to actually go with orange. It's just that it kind of sometimes breaks the turning a little bit. But so far, orange is the best that it's been so far. So I think we might want to try that. On the water, it doesn't really do all that well, though. So I don't know if we're going to do it just for that reason. But yeah, we're going to try to get back to our base. As you can see, it doesn't work all that well. Again, it's just randomly spinning around, even though I'm not telling it to. So we're just going to have to reset because this is not working out. And then we're going to try with different wheel torques. And then, yeah, after that, we're going to just find out which one's the best. And then do a few more slight changes to it. So we already determined that yellow was not that good. So we're going to try bright yellow. So we're just going to do this, jump up. Okay, yeah, I forgot that the side parts don't have collision. So we're going to jump to the middle part. There we go. And then we are going to set, I don't know why it says that they have different wheel torques. That's kind of strange. So is this one just different? No, it's not. Okay, so that's kind of weird. But yeah, this is even more slidey. Like this is a lot worse at this point. So I don't think that we're going to do that one. And I'm assuming that green is just going to be a little bit worse. So we're not even going to attempt it with green. We're just going to keep it at the orange. So we're just going to select all of them and then turn them all to orange like that. We're also going to turn them down to wheel speed 40. And then we're going to try that once again. And then I think that we should be good for the most part. But like I said, we're going to have to make a few small changes so that way it works a little bit better. But yeah, this is a lot slower now. This is the default speed. I turned it up to 50 just to test something out. So now it doesn't really be a slinky as much, but it does do a lot better on the water. However, I don't know if that is a good trade-off, because we do want it to be a slinky as much as possible. So we might have to try something else. But to be fair, it is doing a pretty good job. So I think that this might actually be what we go with. So we're just going to reset real quickly. And then we're going to just, yeah, we're going to make our small adjustments to it. Because I think that this is pretty good. So we're just going to start making our adjustments right now. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn off the collision for our hinges, because that actually makes it be a little bit better for the slinky effect. So we're going to want that, and what I'm honestly thinking is that we kind of just extend this base part forward. So we actually are going to need this piece right here to only be one block. And then, yep, that's not one block. This is one block right there. And then we're just going to highlight all of this with oh, that's not it. Okay, so we're going to highlight all of this with the move tool, and then we're just going to move it up a little bit. not that much. We're going to scale this to a reasonable amount. I feel like here is good. And then we're just going to move this back so that way it connects with it. And just that way it really connects, we're going to do that. So, this looks kind of weird as of right now, I know. We're going to change that next episode if this does work. So, yeah, we're just going to do this real quick. And there we go. So now we're inside. And, yeah, okay, that broke it a little bit, right there. But yeah, this is actually working a lot better now. It's not really, bugging out as much. So, I think that this is actually all that we're going to need to change. We're possibly going to want to move the back wheels a little bit further back as well, because they are still colliding with the main parts in a way that's making it harder to turn. So we're going to try doing that. But otherwise, I think that we are good for this episode. So yeah, we're just going to reload it right here. And then just move both the wheels back. Like that. Okay, not like that. Go back. There we go. And then just select that, and then move both of them back to like here. We don't need to move them back as much as the front wheels. And then we're just going to move it like that, and then like that, and then there we go. We're going to slightly move them in. There we go. And yeah, that doesn't cause any clipping issues, so we are okay. And then we're just going to move this one in. This one does cause clipping issues though, so just to make it normal, we're actually going to have both of them outside. But yeah, I think that as weird as this looks, this should be good for this episode. So we're just going to have this super long car right here, but even though it looks weird, it should be able to work. So if my game will allow me to get on the car, I will be getting on the car to test it out. So there we go. Going to try it out like this, and I feel like doing this actually made it lose some of the slinkiness. So I think having the back wheels like that makes it a little bit better. It's also glitching it out a little bit. So I think we're actually just going to have the front wheels stay in a way that they're further away from the Slinkies part of this. So we're just going to reload the past version. Where is it? There it is. We're just going to reload the past version like this. And then yeah, this is pretty much it for this episode. Next episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be filling up this gap right here, so that way it looks better. We're going to be filling up these gaps right here. So basically, next video is just going to be a lot of changing it so that way it looks a lot better. But that is going to be it for today's episode. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, or you want to see some more Roblox Build-A-Boat for Treasure, and everybody, peace out.